Hi guys, welcome back. So this is part 2 of our discussion, all about engineering economic analysis. So if we talks about engineering economic analysis, so ito yung nagagamit talaga natin, no? Kasi economic analysis for economics talaga, no? Pero tayo as civil pero tayo as engineers, kasi dito marami tayo, may bata yung mga course niya ata, no? So yun, no? So, kailangan nating malaman yung engineering talaga, specifically to engineering economic analysis. So, in its simplest form, an engineering economy analysis is a study of the desirability of making an investment. Ayan, no? So, kung, for example, may mga options ka, meron kang may mga options ka, no? Then, may mili ka saan sa mga options mo, yung pinakamagandang investment or feasible yung investment. So, yung ginagamit natin dyan is yun yung mga susunod pang mga topics ng mga methods, no? So, actually, yun yung mga engineering economic analysis. Kailangan lang natin ma-determine kung feasible ba yung option na to, no? Pero yung concept lang dyan is kailangan lang um-income ka, no? Kasi kung grabe yung gasto mo, wala kang income, so hindi magandang investment yan. So, kailangan lang talaga is profit, no? Yun lang talaga. Kahit saan man siguro, di ba? Pag sinabi nating pag all about money, kailangan profit. Kailangan may ginansyado ka. So, yun, no? So, it is primarily inspired by the work that engineers do in performing analysis, synthesizing, and coming to a conclusion as they work on projects of all sizes. So, moreover, engineering economy is the center of making decision. No? So, I really agree with this statement that engineering economy is at the center of making decision. Kasi hindi pwedeng padalos-dalos ka, di ba? Eh, grabe naman, no? Kung padalos-dalos ka. Hindi ka engineer pag ganun. So, kailangan, before ka mag-decide, alam mo yung mga factors or alam mo kung nagka-profit ka ba, no? Kasi sa experience ko, especially sa my Air Summit, so, napanalo ko yung bidding eh. So, kailangan lang, ang daming factors na titignan mo, no? Kailangan yung mga detailed unit analysis ng mga congruting at masonry, kailangan mag-meet siya sa DUPA ng DPWH, no? So, yun, no? Para mapanalo mo yung bidding, no? Pero anyway, yung ano ko lang is yung profit dun, no? Kasi kailangan may profit yung yung kumpanya, tsaka yung bossing mo, diba? Nga naman, no? Wala siyang sahod. So, dun sa pagka-analyze ko, standard namin na 10% nung 10% nung total contract cost. Yun, no? Kung amo yun, no? So, the rest nun siguro mga 30%. Yun. Probably sa markups. Nakalagay doon yun sa kumpanya. No? Yung contingency. Yun yung mga income ng kumpanya eh. Minsan sugal yan eh. No? Pag may construction, nagka-profit ka, makakapera ka, then yung pera gagamitin mo din for another investment. So, ganun lang yan. No? Ganun lang dun sa construction. I think any general yung construction eh. Kahit anong basta engineering. So anyway, continue tayo. These decisions involve the fundamental elements of the cash flow, money, time, and interest rate. So, itatakal natin more details on cash flow diagram and interest rate for next topic pa. Pero andun na yun sa SIM module nyo. Sa SIM, pagkabasa na lang. I think andun ata yan sa unit learning outcomes, number 2. No, yan. Kindly read in advance na lang, ha? Gusto mo talagang matuto, kailangan mong mag-aral, no? Anyway, so yun nga, yung sabi kanina, yung sabi ko sa first discussion na yung supply and demand uh, follows the ceteris paribus, which is we held all in all other economic factors in constant, no? Leaving only the quantity and the price. So here, in the x-axis, we have the quantity, and in the y-axis, we have the price. So take note, the y-axis is the price, and the quantity is the x. Alright. So, yan. No? So, as the price increases, makikita natin na yung quantity lumiit. No? Lumiliit yung quantity. No? Dito yung pinakamalaking price. Then, dito yung pinakamaliit na quantity. Pero pag liliit yung price, pag maliit yung price, malaki naman yung quantity. Malaki naman yung point dito. No? So, yung tawag sa curve na to is the demand. Alright, no? So, more on demand. Click ko lang to. Ayan, no? So, demand for goods and services. So, anyway, economics use the term demand to refer to the amount of some good or service consumers are willing and able to purchase at each price. No? Andito yung passage na nandun yun sa module nyo. Yeah. So, demand is based on needs and wants of a consumer. So, ibig sabihin, yung demand is for the consumers. Okay? Demand is for consumers. Just to be sure. No? So, ito na yung curve ng demand. No? So, in microeconomics, the law of demand states that conditional on all else being equal, that is ceteris paribus, as the price of a good or the quantity increases, the quantity demanded decreases. Okay? So, pag yung price daw nag-increase, yung demand decrease, no? Ibig sabihin, they are inversely proportional, no? So, otherwise, pag yung price naman is nag-decrease, yung demand mag-i-increase, no? Parang common sense lang 'to, eh, no? Siyempre, kung mahal, no? So, malit lang yung may kakayanang bumili, no? So, malit yung demand. Pero kung mura naman yung pagkabenta niya, yung presyo nung let's say yung sapatos, pag mura yung sapatos, siyempre maraming bibili, no? Pero kung gusto mo talaga, pero kung malaki naman yung presyo, maliit lang yung demand din. For rich kid only, no? Parang ganun, no? So common sense lang talaga, no? So pag price increases, demand decreases. Pag price decreases, demand increases. Ganun. So let's go back to the home. Then we have also the supply. So click natin yung supply. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Ayan, no? So price is what the producer receives for selling one unit of a good or service. So rise in price almost always leads to an increase in the quantities supplied of that good or services, while fall in price will decrease the quantity supplied. Okay. So supply is for producer. Okay? Supply is for producer. So kung may nabebenta ka, diba? So kung may nabebenta ka, makaka-produce ka pa, no? So ganun yung ano dito eh. So kung mas mura, no? Maliit lang yung produce mo. Ayan. Kasi, di ba? Dadamihan mo pa yung ano, mahirap mag-ipon sa 0.5 kaysa sa 5 centavos kumpara nung 5 pesos na. So parang ganun yun eh. I think naiintindihan nyo yun eh. So continue pa tayo para mas maintindihan natin. So ito na yung supply. So the law of supply is the fundamental principle of economic theory which states that by ceteris paribus, or keeping other factors equal, constant, an increase in price results in an increase in quantity supply. Yun. So ibig sabihin, yung price tsaka yung supply are directly proportional. So pag tumaas yung presyo, marami kang masusupply. No? Pag maliit yung presyo, so maliit lang din yung masusupply mo. Ganun yan. No? So in other words, there is a direct relationship between the price and the quantity. So quantities responds in the same direction as the price changes. All right. Dali lang yan, no? From the word supply, mga nagsusupply, producer talaga yan. So ulitin natin, this is for consumer, the demand, and this is for the supplier or the producer. So ito nagagamit din sa construction, kasi yung construction tubo yan eh. Kung ikaw yung general contractor, ikaw yung mamibili ng mga materials mo, no? Bibili ka ng mga materials mo dun sa mga supplier, no? Then yung supplier, pag sa kumpanya kasi, based on my experience sa cost din dun sa MGS, ako yung nag-handle ng mga supplier, ako yung nagki-interview, no? So yun, marami silang mga promos, no? Na i-option nila, no? Para lang makuha mo yung para lang sila yung pagkukunan mo ng resources. So broad din nagagamit talaga yung supply and demand sa engineering. Kaya dapat aralin natin. Mahirap na, kung lang alam. So the area bounded by the lower region, this is the shortage. So makikita natin na yung part pala dito is shortage. Bakit kaya? Based on figure. So makikita natin ito demand. Ito yung supply. Ibig sabihin, mas malaki yung demand, di ba? Mas malaki yung demand kaysa sa sinupply mo. Hindi hindi kaya ng supply mo nabutin yung demand. Kasi ito eh. So, anyway, click natin to. No, not that one. This one, no? So, shortage is also referred as the excess of the demand. So, it's just the quantity demand deducted by the quantity supplied. So, ito yun, no? Demand deducted by supply, no? So, ito bale yung excess demand or the shortage. So, yung top naman, that is called as surplus, no? I think na nakikita nyo to sa mga mall, no? Daming surplus, mumura. Yun yung masarap bilhin eh. Kung walang budget. So anyway, pag makikita mo yung mga ganito, so makikita mo na mas malaki yung supply kaysa sa demand. Ibig sabihin, ang dami mong stock, no? Di pa nabibenta kasi sa liit ng demand niya. So tawag doon surplus. So anyway, click natin yung surplus. So yung surplus, yung ibang pangalan niya is the excess supply, no? So it's just from this figure, it's just the quantity of supply to be deducted by the quantity of demand. So ito yun, no? Yan yung excess supply or the surplus. I think naiintindihan nyo ata, no? So, tackled pa tayo more. And, so, yung point of intersection na lang yung tawag dyan is the market equilibrium value. So, ano yung bibig sabihin nito? Ayan, no? So, yung market equilibrium value is also called as the maximum revenue zone. So, ibig sabihin, dyan yung pinakamalaking profit mo. Eh, bakit? Kasi wala kang surplus, wala ka ding shortage. Zero yan, ha? Ito, shortage, zero din, surplus. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka sumobra, hindi ka din nagkulang, no? Parang ganun yung concept niya, eh. Kaya yung formula niya is just demand equal supply. Diba? Hindi ka nagkulang, hindi ka din sumobra. Yun yung market equilibrium value. So, ito talaga yung goal natin sa engineering economic analysis for supply and demand. Kasi, for example, yung demand kasi is based yan sa sa survey mo. Yung supply naman is based yan sa producer. For example, nag-advertise ka ng mga first advertisement to the last advertisement. Bali by dropping the price. So, makikita mo yung curve niya, eh. So, after that, marami kasing value ng demand, no? Corresponding to different rows of price. So, yung gagawin mo is gagamitin mo ng basic economic analysis to determine kung ano talaga yung dapat na presyo sa product mo. Ganun yung ano dito, eh. So, kung ito yung market equilibrium value, ito pala yung equilibrium price and ito pala yung equilibrium quantity. Okay? So, kung ano yung dito, ito yung equilibrium quantity. Kung ano yung dito, ito yung equilibrium price. So, I think naintindihan niyo yan. I hope. Grabe naman pag hindi. Ayan, PC, personal computer. Hindi, joke, pero PC is the price selling. Okay, ano yung price selling? Click natin, ha? Ayan. So, price ceilings are enacted in an attempt to keep prices low for those who demand the product. So, anyway, to make the story short, price ceiling is, balikan natin, ha? So, makikita natin ito yung price ceiling. Di ba shortage yan, ha? Ibig sabihin, yung price ceiling is government imposed pala yan, ha? Impose yan ng gobyerno para protektahan tayong mamimili ng mga consumers. Na, kasi, minsan, di ba, kasi yung iba, like ngayon, na COVID, di ba? Halos, ano na eh, yung, na, pamahalan na ng alcohol. No? Kasi shortage nga yung alcohol. No? Pati yung face mask, ang mahal na. No? So, dahil sa mga ganyan, kaso yung mga ganun, kasi yung ganun na event is, nagka-shortage, parang kulang tayo sa supply, no? So, yung price ceiling, impose yan ng gobyerno para protektahan tayong mamimili na yung mga producer hindi naman magbenta ng sobrang mahal, di ba? So, kailangan talaga within that price ceiling lang talaga. So, ganun yan, yung price ceiling. So, anyway, balikan natin yung meaning niya. I think naintindihan nyo yun. No? So, dito tayo sa continue. So, ito yun. No? So, government use price ceiling to protect the consumers from condition that could make commodities prohibitively expensive. Oh, yan. Yun yung sabi ko na yun. No? Para iwasan na, kasi shortage. Minsan, yung iba, ang mahal ng benta. No? So, kailangan yung price ceiling, within the price ceiling. Pag lumampas ka dito, lagot ka. Ha? Ang dami na papabilitaan na madakpan sa BI. So, basta may manakupay ba? Kung masobraan ka o presyo. Buro po kaya eh. Anyway, so on the other hand, we have also the PF. could be the price floor, no? Madaling tandaan 'to, no? Halos magkabaliktad lang, no? Nandito ka sa baba, supposedly normal sa atin floor to then ceiling, no? Pero sa economics is iba, no? Dito yung ceiling, ito yung floor. So, tandaan niyo yan, ha? Ano naman yung price floor? So, yung price floor naman is the lowest legal price that can be paid in market for goods and services, labor, or financial capital. Perhaps the best example of the price floor is the minimum wage, which is based on the normative view that someone working full-time ought to be able to afford the basic standard of living. So, balikan natin ito, no? Uh, uh, dito makikita mo na mas malaki yung supply kaysa sa demand, di ba? So, ito naman yung ano, no, parang impose din yan ng gobyerno para para bigyan man din ng ano, kahulugan yung mga produkto ng mga supplier. Kaya kasi ang laki nung ano eh, for example sa kasi under siya sa surplus, yung may sobra, no. So, yung ginagawa is kailangan talaga above siya sa equilibrium value, no? Just to make it effective. So, bali parang impose yan ng gobyerno na dapat yung benta mo sa surplus kasi madami ka pang stock, eh, no? Kailangan within sa dito lang na range, yun yung price floor, no? Di ba? I think naintindihan niya, no? For example, tag paano ba? Ah, anyway, basta yun, no? Kailangan above siya by the market equilibrium value just to make it effective. Kasi nga, marami siyang supply. So anyway, balikan na. Ay, joke. Oops. Balikan na. Ayan, no? Ito yan, no? So, a price floor must be higher than the equilibrium price in order to be effective. Ganun. No? Yan. Yan yung sabi ko kanina. So, mas commonly makikita nyo sa net, ito lang yung common elements on the law of supply and demand curve. However, so kung gusto ko mas detailed talaga eh. Gusto ko marami kayong alam, no? Kaya, ito. So, we have the CS. College color. Consumer surplus. So, consumer surplus, ito yan, no? Ito yung range na. Range nung demand to the market equilibrium value. So, consumer surplus yan. Di ba? Kasi yung demand, di ba yung demand, sabi ko kanina, that is for consumer. Madaling tandaan din. This is for consumer. So, ibig sabihin, yung range dito, mga consumer yan. Alright? The inverse of that is called as the producer surplus. So, makikita mo ito yung market value. So, ito yung sa supply na curve. So, yung difference or yung gap distance nila, yung tawag doon is the producer supply. Diba? Sabi ko kanina, pag supply, producer yan. So, ito yun, producer. Pag demand, consumer. So, consumer. Madaling tandaan, consumer surplus, producer surplus. Pag i-add mo yung dalawa na yan, tawag dyan, social surplus or the total surplus. Dami siyang pangalan eh, no? But anyway, yung ano talaga niya is the total surplus. Other books use it as social surplus. Click natin, ha? No, not that one. Ayan, no? So, yung consumer surplus is the gap between the price that the consumer are willing to pay based on their preference and the market equilibrium price. Yan, no? Yung sabi ko kanina. Yung above, yung gap between the market equilibrium price and the demand. And yung producer surplus naman is the gap between the price for which the producer are willing to sell a product based on their costs and the market equilibrium price. So, yan yun. Yung sabi ko kanina na it is the difference between the market equilibrium price and the supplier or the supply curve. Then the social surplus is the sum or the total surplus. So is larger at the equilibrium quantity and the and price that it will be at any other quantity and price. So ito yan. No? So for power demand and supply curve, ito naman yung magiging itsura niya. So anyway, ito yung linear naman. Same naman yan. Nagiging power curve lang yun eh. Kasi power trend yan. Ito linear trend tayo dito ha. Medyo mahaba na yung usapan natin ha. So, gusto ko pa rin mas detailed pa no. So yung baba dito, tawag dito is the OS. So yung opportunity cost, minsan nagagamit na natin yan for decision making. So anyway, for siguro, ata nandyan yan sa week 4 to 5. Dun yung opportunity cost. Malalaman natin yung application nito. And nga pala no. Kasi pag supplier ka or producer ka, yung presyo mo minsan pinapatungan nila ng tax yan eh. No? Kasi alam nga naman wala kang tax, swerte mo So kailangan may tax ka talaga, no? So pag may tax, may naki-create na deadweight loss. Saan yan? Ito yun. No? So pag makikita mo dito na, di ba, kung ito yung supply, yung walang tax, pag may tax, pag i-create mo yan, so ito yung effective niya. So ito yung loss. Di ba? Ito yung loss. Maabot mo na sana yung market equilibrium kaso may tax eh. May tax. Ganun yan, no? So tawag dyan is the deadweight loss. So balikan natin yan. Deadweight loss is the loss in total surplus that occurs when the economy produces at an inefficient quantity. So yan, yung sabi kanina. No? Makikita nyo naman klarong-klaro dito. No? Na ito yung deadweight loss. So far, I think lasang-lasa nyo na yung law of supply and demand. So next discussion natin is solving tayo. No? On how solving ba? Probably yung software na binigay ko na. Gagamitin natin yan for visualization ng supply and curve. Supply at demand. No? Antok na ako Grabe, alas 4 na Dito pa ako. Anyway, thank you class for listening.